Good evening, everyone. Less people are here, but we will start without wasting any time because the time is precious. Yes. So today we are starting the next chapter, the cell cycle and cell division. Remember, before we going to this particular chapter, what you have to know. Okay. The things you should know before we starting this particular chapter is you should know what is the meaning of cell. Okay. You should know the meaning of the nucleus. Okay, and you should know the meaning of the centrosome or all those things, and you should know the meaning of the cytoskeleton and also the other components. Okay, simply if I merge it everything in a simple manner, you should know all about the cell chapter. Okay, cell chapter you should know properly because that's what the backup for this. Okay, if you understand this one, so later also you can understand in a better way. And remember, this chapter is so important. Okay, if you understand this chapter well, then you can understand the second year's genetics and molecular biology very easily. Okay, if you struggle to understand this one, then next year when you're understanding molecular biology or biotechnology, it will become a big headache. Okay, some people will say that, sir, molecular biology is very tough and biotechnology is very tough. Okay, I'm telling you, if you understand the meaning of cell and if you understand the cell cycle and cell division properly, those two chapters are one of the easy chapters. Okay, everything, all those chapters, all the concepts what we discuss in there based on this particular chapter only. Okay, so try to concentrate and try to understand things well. Okay, then it will be better. Okay, good evening, Gopika. So I will continue then in this particular chapter, what we are studying then, in this particular chapter, we are going to study about the cell division, means what is cell division and what is the need and everything. And there are like three different types of cell division we can find. One is amitosis, another one is mitosis, and another one is meiosis. We will go detail about these things. Okay. So amitosis is not that much important, but mitosis and meiosis is. Okay. And the significance of all these three things. Okay, so what's the importance of this and why we should study about these things? Everything we will study in this. Okay, and remember, guys, what we are studying in today's class, I think most of that is not in the textbook. Okay, that's why try to concentrate more and try to make the notes also. Okay, so before we going to study about these things, let us solve one or two questions. Okay. Namaste, Sachin. So first question, pre-reading question. In which organism cell division is found? Okay. They are asking four options they given, and they are asking which organism we can find the cell division. One is plants, second option is animals, third option is fungi, and fourth option is all of the above. Good evening, Krati. Sorry, technical check, I forgot to finish. I closed it now. So I'm just launching the poll. So you can answer the poll. You can answer in the poll. I don't think this is one of the tough question, right? This is one of the easy question, easiest question. But the issue is like it may be a very easy question or it may be a two kind of tough question. You have to read the question properly, right? Question and option. Yeah, even though some of you may mistaken your answer, probably you may clicked on some other option and gave submit without even properly reading. Okay, so whoever attempting now, try to read it properly. Okay, yes, I think that everyone will vote, but still like still some people are 15 seconds left. 15 seconds. So I'm just waiting. Yep. Okay, guys, you have last 5 seconds. Don't waste your time. Answer quickly. Okay, I'm ending the poll then. Still a lot of people have to answer. I don't know when you guys will answer, but time is over. I can't do anything, right? So I'm ending the poll and I'm sharing the results. 5% chosen option A, 8% B, 10% C, and 77% D. Exactly. And in YouTube, everyone chosen option D only. Okay. So we'll discuss about this. They're asking where you can find this cell division. Division means what? Getting divided, right? It's getting divided. In the first page only, we saw a particular cell is getting divided and again it's joining back, right? So they're asking where you can find this. Yes, we can find it in the plants. Plants also, a single cell give rise to two cells. That's how it actually grow. Even you can find it in the animals. This is also correct. Even you can also find it in the fungi. Actually, we read about these things in fungi, right? Reproduction type in the fungi, we already learned all about these things. So what's the correct answer then? The most accurate answer is the all of the above, right? All the three options are correct, so all of the above is the correct answer. Exactly, Lipika, right? Moiety means tail. Moiety means tail. Okay, so I think it came somewhere in the book, I'm not sure where. Okay, moiety means tail. Remember, probably in the lipid chain, in the phospholipid they are explained it. S bond. Okay, moiety means tail. Okay, so we will move on to second question. This is pretty little bit confusing, I think. Okay, we will see how you will guys answer to this. Okay, an astral mitosis found in. They are asking a kind of a mitosis. They call it is the anastral mitosis, where you can find. Okay, the options are plant, animals, or living cell, and prokaryote. Okay, good evening, Ashwin. Yep. So remember about this, guys. So who listened to the first cell cycle properly? Then you can answer to this one. Exactly. Okay, I'm just launching the poll. Before you answer, just think about it. Don't choose anyone like anything. It looks nice. Okay, I'm relaunching the poll. You can answer in the poll, and who are in the YouTube can answer in the live chat. Think about it. Okay, where you heard that particular term and how it's different, everything. Okay. Okay. Last how many seconds? 15 seconds left. I'm just ending the poll in a few seconds. Yep, 68% chosen option. When it becomes 70%, I will close it. Okay, I'm ending the poll then. Okay, you already got much time. I'm sharing the results. 21% chosen option A, 16% B, 20% C, and 43% D. And in YouTube, I got the answer. One is D and one is A. Okay, so that means a lot of you guys have confusion in between A, B, C, and some of you guys went for the option D. Okay, I'm stop sharing the result. So what's the meaning of aster then? Okay, what's the meaning of the aster? Aster means spindle fibers only, right? We already discussed about these things in the when we are discussing about the cell, cell chapter. So which particular organelle which produce the aster? It will be the centrosome. What happens in the centrosome? If the centrosome is present like this, then it will produce the asters in all the different ways, right? It will produce the asters in all the different ways. So it looks like the star. So we call it as the aster, and we call this particular into aster race, right? And so this kind of arrangement, we call it as the astral cell division. Okay, astral cell division. So where you can find this? You can find this in the animals. Okay. So what they are asking? They are asking about the anaster. But you know one thing, what's that? So animals is the not the correct answer, right? If animals is not the correct answer, then all living cells also not the correct answer, right? All living means it's also include animals. Yeah, then we got with two things. One is a plant and another one is the prokaryote. It's a little bit confusing. Yes, so we have two options, right? In plants, we discussed about the things, right? What is that? Plants don't have the centrosome. That means there is no centrosome is there. Because of the absence of the centrosome, the astral fibers are not looks like this, or the centrosome spindle fibers are not like this, unless they are something like this. There is a MTOC, that means microtubule organism center. It can only produce the spindles in only the one direction. Okay, only one direction, not in complete surrounding region. Okay, so this kind of the one we call it as the unastral. Okay, unastral. Remember, this is what we call it as the unastral. Then you may ask, sir, what about the prokaryotes then? What about the prokaryotes? Yes, this is a little bit of critical. Okay, you know that the prokaryotes don't have the cytoskeleton, right? Whatever may call it, we may call it as like spindle fiber, or it may call it as the astral fibers. Okay, an astral Stella, bro, don't take tension about those things, bro. Like meaning you understood, right? Yeah. So what we are discussing? Yep. So you know that the prokaryotes don't have the cytoskeleton. All the spindle fibers, all those things are belongs to the cytoskeleton material, right? So what about prokaryotes then? Yes, they don't even have the spindle fibers. Okay, they don't even have the spindle fibers. So there is no like wording like astral or anastral. Okay, so that's what makes us different. And another one thing, this mitosis is a step you can only find it in the eukaryotes, not in the prokaryotes. Okay, so that's what study in today's class. But remember, mitosis only happens in eukaryotes. So based on that, you can remove the prokaryotes. So the correct option left with the plant, okay, because this don't have the centrosome, it's an astral type. So we discussed about the astral type, but if you remember that one, you could have answered this one also. Okay, so that much regarding the pre-reading questions. We will move on to our next topic. Okay, so our topic for first is what is the purpose of the cell division? Okay. The first thing what you can normally see here, what we study in living system or wherever, the thing is every living system will grow, right? It may be in one manner, in another manner. So it will grow either in the size or in the complete ratios, right? Or it can go for reproduction, whatever the meaning. So what is the basis of this growth or anything is the cell division. Okay, it's the growth or reproduction, whatever the meaning, the basis of this is the cell division, right? How the cell division will occur, that is the keynote for our study. Okay, so first thing, what's the purpose for the cell division? Then why a particular cell have to go for cell division process? It can like stagnant like anything, right? It can be like simply sitting and it's digesting and it's like simply like dying. It can do all those things, right? The first basics where it started means whatever the cell is achieved in its lifetime, it should carry on to the next, right? That is how legacy will work, right? We normally say, right, our legacy, our family legacy, like that. Okay, how the family legacy or something will run? It runs through our blood, right? That means through our generations. Exactly. Cell is also having the same thing. Okay, everything is kind of a selfish. Okay, don't think over it much. So what it has to do, it have to send out all its knowledge into the next generation. How it can do that? Okay, so before you going, or sometimes what happens, it have to do some work. Okay, but it can't do it because it's alone and it's small. Okay, then it have to grow big, and you know that the cell can't grow big up to after a certain limit because it can't control itself, right? So that is how the cell division came. Okay, that is how the cell division particular came. Okay, first purpose of the cell division is the growth. Okay, First purpose is the growth. Every organism will grow. Okay, either it may be a single celled organism. In their growth mean different, right? That's what we study in living system first chapter. But in the other higher organism, growth means different, right? If big, more pressure. Exactly. Right. And to maintain a surface area volume. Exactly, Munita. Right. And you guys also growing, right? You are not the same persons who are like 5 years ago, right? When you are joined Navodaya for the first time, you guys are so small and you guys are crying for like leaving you in school and all those things, right? But you guys are not at all doing that. You guys are already grown like 5 feet or 6 feet, right? Or the very, right? So how this basics of this or how it happened, it happened because of the cell division, right? So it is not visible to eyes because cell is so tiny, but you can feel it, right? You can feel by your weight or you can feel by your height or growth of a particular kind of the organs and everything, right? So yeah, this is one of the basic or must purpose. What is the second purpose? The second purpose is the reproduction. Exactly. Second one is the reproduction. So what's the need of reproduction then, right? Why we need a reproduction particular thing, right? We should be asexual or something, right? Asexual also reproduction will be there, right? We can't do why we have to go for every individual organism have to go for reproduction. Sometimes by giving its life, also some organism will go for reproduction. Like we can take an example of salmon fish and a kind of eel fishes. We already learned, right? What happened? They will go for reproduction. After that, they will die, right? After the reproductive procedures, after the breeding, they will die. Still, they are going for that, right? Still, they are going for that. What is the reason behind that? The reason is to send the characters or the genes to the next generation. Okay. I don't know how many of you will go for like pure science field, okay, especially in the biology. But if you go into the pure science field, especially in the zoology, you will learn about ethology, okay, that means behavioral sciences, okay, and there you will learn certain things so intriguing, okay. So like a particular why we help our cousins or why the organism help the relatives, okay. Why organism behave in this way. Everything is linked ultimate to the information which is actually the gene. Okay, so sometimes people will say like we are the slaves of our own this one, okay, chromosomes or the genes or the DNA. Okay, so why we call it? Because everything happens to continue that particular information from one generation to another generation because it's a hard earned one, right? Exactly. So reproduction, how the reproduction will happen through the cell division. Okay, in asexual reproduction or in the single cell, it's easy. One will divide into two, and those will separate, and like two organisms came. But in the higher organism, it's more complex, right? The organism have to produce the gametes. That gametes will be haploid or diploid. I don't understand, Pawan. So gametes are haploid or diploid? Exactly, right. We studied so many things in plant kingdom, right? Gametes are haploid. I think everyone know the meaning of haploid. If you don't know, later we study that also. Okay, make it that. Okay. So haploid gametes will be produced. Those haploid gametes will fuse to form a zygote, and it will grow to a new organism. Right? It's like so much procedures are there, but that's the purpose, right? Purpose of cell division is reproduction. That's also one. And what's the third purpose of the cell division? The third purpose of the cell division is the repair, right? Repair. So what is the repair? You know the regular repair, right? Or something happens to your cycle, you go and like you spanner and everything, you will correct it, right? That's what we call as the repair. And there's also another one, exactly, Lipika. A replace, right? A repair and replace. So repair is a broader term. Okay, so exactly, repair means if something happens to your hand, okay, you bite it or something happened, then those cells will already dead, right? Then what happened? The cell division will occur and fill that particular one. That's called repair, repairment of your particular organ. Okay, replacement means what? if a particular cell in any part of your body is dead, then a new cell will replace that particular cell, right? That's how you will live, right? So good evening, Bhagyashree, right? So that day I'm actually discussing with that only, right? So if you meet today, if me and someone like me and Darshan meet today, and like after 10 years we will meet once again, none of us will be same, right? I'm not talking about our mental or something things. I'm talking about the cells in our body, right? Cells, every cell in our bodies almost is replaced by some other else, right? Except some cells, right? So to replacement is continuous process. Okay, replacement is a continuous process, and repairing is also a continuous process. So that's also one of the purpose. So these three things are called great three purpose of the cell division, because the meaning or the cell division need to be there for these three things. Okay, exactly. So we will move on to the next thing. The things is like question is, do all cells divide? Okay, so cell division is a continuous process. Exactly, cell division is a continuous process. Then we stuck with a question: do all cells divide? Every cell in our body will divide or not? Okay, kind of. Okay, not all. So based on that, we actually made three different kinds of tissues. Okay, exactly. The first one we normally call it as the labile tissue. Okay. Exactly, Lipika. So first one is a labile. Labile means what? The cells which keeps on dividing. Okay, there is like no restriction to that. You can take the example of your skin. Okay, how many times you scratch your skin? Okay, every time when you scratch your skin, so you normally like feel thousands of cells. Okay, thousands of cells from your skin. Still some other cells will replace that, right? What's happening there? Okay, what's happening there? So every cell is replacing the some other kind of the cells. Okay, or you can take an example of some of the cells which are called as the stem cells, right? Stem cells. What are stem cells then? Stem cells are the cells which are divide continuously. Okay. The stem cells are the cells which are divided to the continuously. Okay, and there are some other kinds of cells also there. What are those kinds of cells? Like cells which are present in our stomach. Okay, stomach will have high acid content. Then what happens? The epithelial will be there, and above the epithelium there will be mucus layer will be there. Still sometimes the acid will pass on to the mucus and damage some of the epithelial cells. Then that cells have to be replaced, right? So those are called gastrointestinal tract cells or stomach cells. Okay, exactly, Chiran, right? So cells which are keep on dividing are called labile cells. Example: skin. GIT means gastrointestinal tract cells. Okay, and bone marrow cells. Okay, these are some of the examples. Second type of cells are stable cells. Okay, this means they have the ability to divide, but they won't divide regularly. Okay, they only divide during the crucial times. Okay, that means when it need a particular type of these cells. Okay, the examples I will give you the example. Kind of. Okay, they are highly responsible. The examples are cells of the inner organs like liver, pancreas, and kidneys. Okay. Manvita, exactly. Labile cells are almost equal to the meristematic cells, but these are not meristematic cells. To get a name like meristematic, that should be continuously dividing, and like it can form other types of cells also, but these are not like that, right? So that's why we won't call it meristem, we call it as a labile. Okay, we'll come back to the stable. So inner organ will contain stable cells like liver, pancreas, and kidney. Okay, what happens if a liver cell become labile or liver cells become continuously divide? Then our internal complete body will filled with a liver only, right? That's why the liver cells won't divide continuously. They will be in a particular shape. If something happens, okay, if something happens to your one part of the liver and some of the cells get destroyed, okay, then what happens? This liver cells will replace that particular cell group, okay, that particular cell group. So when it's dividing, only when it's required, okay, during the crucial times only, not continuously, okay. In that also the ability will be different, okay. Liver cell have the higher ability to divide, kidney cells have completely low, like that. Cells have liver cells have the regeneration ability, but not 100%, okay. Up to certain percent only. If liver is harmed, then only it can be replaced. That's why some people will tell, right, even though who are the people who normally drink, we normally say that this liver will be get damaged, right. Even though it's in the initial step, if they leave the alcohol, those people's liver will be corrected after some time, after some years, okay. That's what. Simple. Tissue means group of cells, right? That's why we actually divided the tissues. We are not referring to the cells, because liver contains several types of the cells. Pancreas contains several types of the cells, right? That's why we are not going for a single type of this cell name. We are going for the generalized tissue name, okay? This property is used in this one, transplantation, exactly, okay? So third one is the liver. Sorry, permanent. Okay, so permanent is the cells which never divide. Okay, these cells are restricted to a particular shape. So what's the reason behind that, or what is the example? Is the neurons and muscle cells. Okay, the major reason behind the cells to be stagnant in that particular shape without going for division is the shape. Okay, is the shape. Just imagine about something. If I gave you a dough ball, okay, that means atta, I made it a chapati dough, okay, and I will give you a ball of that, okay. And if I tell you to divide into two, then you guys can do that, right? So it's easy. You can just cut it in half and you can make the two dough balls, right? So it's something like this. Then think about something, okay. Then I made it a chapati and fried it, okay. Then I told you to divide and made it equal. So it's like hard, right? So even though you chapati, you try to make it, you make it something like this. You make it a certain half, not like a complete set, right? So exactly same thing happens. These cells are formed into some shapes, okay, some shapes, they molded. I will come to that. Okay. Yeah. These will be molded into a particular type of the cells. That's why like damage of these cells are very, very hard. Okay. So they can't divide once they attain this particular shape. But remember, then if you may got that particular question right. I'm saying that these cells can't divide. Then how these cells came into this shape in first place, right? These cells also came from the regular kind of the cells only. Yeah, I will come back to that. 1 second. Okay, I will go through all those things. Okay, how it will grow and everything. So it's also come from the regular kind of cells only, but these cells will change its shape in its time duration. Okay, and they will form like this. Okay, they go for like a single root journey. Okay, they will divide from, or they will change from a regular shape to this shape, and this shape to this shape, and this to this shape. Okay, same thing happen with the muscle cells also. Same thing. I'm telling you, right? So the cells which never divides are the adult neuron and muscle cells. Remember, adult neuron and muscle cells, not all the neurons and muscle cells. Okay, if that is the case, then how the cells will come in the first place, right? So you can imagine that in the adult cells, these will not get divided. Okay, this will confine to that particular kind of the cell, a particular shape only, because of its crucial nature of the shape. Okay, so in the initial steps they can turn, but remember, when your muscles will grow, okay, neurons, I think everyone understand, everyone heard about these things, but I'm not sure about the muscles, right? So when the muscles will grow, if you eat more, is muscle will grow? No. If you eat more, your fat content may grow more. Okay, when muscle will grow means when some of the muscles will broke down. Okay, you may wonder, right, why the people will go for the gym, why they will push something or like lift something which is like so heavy. Sometimes they will feel so much pain in their shoulders and everywhere, every part of their body. Why they are doing that? They are doing that because when they do that exercise, some of the muscle cells will broke. Okay, the muscle cells will broke. To replace that, new smaller muscle cell will adjust to that. Okay, then only muscle will grow. Okay, I'm telling you, who want to like grow the muscles, right? If you eat more, your muscles will never grow. Okay, even though you made like 2-5 eggs or like how many eggs or how many protein shakes, whatever you drink, nothing works. Okay, because extra protein will be given out through the urine. We saw that in the last chapter, right? In the biomolecules, body don't want any extra. But if you are taking extra things, then you should go for extra exercise. Then only the muscle will break and the new muscle cells will be adjusted. Okay. What about the spinal cords? Like I'm coming back to that. Okay. Adipose cells will go. Muscle cells meaning we will go to the muscle cells, no issue. Okay. That is what I told you, right? Exercise works means exercise will break some of the muscles. Then to replace that, new cells will adjust to that. Okay. Neurons are a little bit intricate than this. Okay. So once the particular neuron cells will divide and arrange in a particular a shape or something, okay, particular adjustment, they will store some information. Muscles won't store any information, but neurons will store. That is the important thing. Okay. So what happens? The new neuronal cells will be formation will be happening. Okay, and there are some other cells will be there, glial cells and all the other cells. Those will be taking care of the old neuron cells. Okay, but if something happens, okay, some damage happened to your brain or spinal cord, it will be very disastrous. Okay, because if you lose some of the neuron cells, you're not only losing your some of the cells, you are also losing some of your information, right? So that is what made the neural degenerative diseases are so much problematic. Okay, neural degenerative disease means the disease which will degenerate, that means destroy your neurons. Okay, so some of the disease like a mad cow disease, okay, or you can think about some Huntington disease. Okay, in all those kind of disease, what happens? Those particular chemicals or the pathogens will destroy the nervous system. Then that particular human or that particular person will gone mad, or he will go for like a different kind of the trembling in his mind. Okay, psychologically he will be affected, and there is no turning back. Okay, there is no medicines are there. What is the reason for that? Medicines can replace or like correct something, but it can't bring back something already gone, right? Yes, exactly. Alzheimer, Parkinson, everything. Alzheimer disease or Parkinson disease, what we normally see in the older persons. Same thing happens. Okay, they will forget certain things. You may try how much. You can slow down that effect. Okay, you can slow down that degenerative disease, but you can't reverse it. It's an irreversible disease. Okay. Yeah. So that's the basic reason. Okay. That's the major drawbacks of the permanent cell. Okay. Amnesia, all those things, not the degenerative disease. Those are the symptoms. Okay. Remember, the symptom and the diseases are different. Okay. Headache or fever is a symptom. It's not a disease. Okay. What is the disease? Disease should cause a particular problem. Okay. You understand, right? This fever may be a symptom of dengue, maybe a symptom of AIDS, maybe a symptom of corona, maybe a symptom of like a lot of work or stress. Okay, everything. It's not a disease, right? What is disease then? A corona is a disease, or dengue is a disease, right? Understood. So amnesia is a symptom. It's not a disease. Okay, exactly. And some other things related to that also. Okay, so try to differentiate the things. Like amnesia maybe dizziness. Exactly. Amnesia may be because of the Parkinson disease, or it may be because of some damage to the brain, or it may be because of some clot in the brain. We don't know. Okay, it's just a symptom. So this is how. Okay, we will move on then. We already discussed a lot about these things. But remember, the cells are three types: One are labile, that means continuously dividing. One are stable, that means they have the ability, but they won't divide. And some of them are permanent, that means they never divide. Okay. So we will once again study about these cells when we are go through the phases of the cell cycle. Okay. Why they are permanent or what kind of mechanism are looking there. We will study that. Okay. So types are there. Even in a permanent also, like we again go for like several types. Okay. We will call it as G0. So we made a different types in G0 also. Okay. That we study in higher classes, not here. Okay. So one question came. Simple. What's the purpose of cell division? Okay. I think reproduction, repair, growth, all of the above is the option. Easy question. So don't get confused for this also. It's already prepared. Okay. So I thought that, okay, I won't change any questions for today. Like from tomorrow, we will add some more like interesting kind of the questions. Yep. Okay. Last 25 seconds, only 60% people voted. And in YouTube, yes, I'm getting some answers. Right. It's a direct kind of question. This kind of questions will be regularly come in the CBSE. Okay, sometimes also in the CET, but CET pattern is changing now. CBSE sometime in old papers you can find this kind of question. Depends on some, like everyone prepares some of the chapter slides. So that we will use. We will I will use some other paper slides and they use my slides. Okay, like that happens. Then whenever we are starting the class, like we will make certain changes into our slides for our necessary, but we will keep some slides as like that only without any changes. Okay. I'm ending the poll. Yes. Huana, cardiac muscles divide. No, like this also belongs to the muscle cells only, right? There are cells which can replace the cardiac muscle cells, but adult cardiac muscles will go for the division is very rare. Okay, because it's also like divided. It will have sometimes like jointed and everything. I'm sharing the results. 7% chosen option A, nobody B, 1% C, and 92% D. And in YouTube also everyone chosen option D only. Okay. Which cells make these cells? Means I didn't understand. So exactly. Somebody probably chosen the option reproduction, like fast touch, I think, right? The correct answer is all of the above. The purpose of cell division is reproduction, repair, and growth. What one? So the names of the cells, the names of the cells we normally give majorly based on the tissue it is present. Okay, or sometimes when it's very necessary, then only we give the names. Okay, regularly we call it as the pancreatic cells. Okay, but when we go into a particular step, then we call those particular regions the islets of Langerhans. We will learn that in digestive. Okay, in that we again go for alpha cells, beta cells, and gamma cells and delta cells. Okay, like that. So exactly in our eyes also, right? We normally call it as the retinal cells or some other cells. But when we go in depth, then we go for like cones or rod cells, cone cells, like that. Only necessary cells we give the name. Other we normally call it as ground cells or the basal cells, like that. Which cells turn into muscle cells? All the cells in our body will be the results of the stem cells. Okay, will be the results of the stem cells. I think you probably know that the ectodermal, like in 12th year it will come, right? So our ectodermal cells and endoderm and mesodermal cells will give rise to these things. And even the cells which give rise to the adult cells also called by the same name. That means nervous tissue only, neural cells only, that neural cells only differentiate and form a particular shape, then you call neuron. Otherwise, we simply call it as the neural tissue or neural cell. What does stem cell mean? The stem cell is the one which have the ability to divide continuously. Okay, you can take an example of meristem of the plant, the tip. So it can divide continuously without any stops, right? So those are called as stem cells. Our embryonic cells are stem cells because it can divide continuously. Then those will convert into some other types of cells. Exactly. Meristems and everything. Probably you guys already learned in fifth chapter, right? Yep. So another one question there. Okay. Exactly. Where will you not get cell division in man? I'm not sure about that. This one. What is it? Grammar and everything, but just I think you understand the question. Where you will not get cell division in man? Option: gonads, epithelial tissue, connective tissue, nervous and muscular tissue. I don't know why they added this much easy question. No issue. First day you enjoy. Okay. Tomorrow I will add some complex questions. Okay. So this is like a straight to answer kind of question. I think nobody needs a 1 minute of time, right? So like don't make mistakes in this. Like probably some of you have confusion. What is the meaning of gonads? Gonads are the organ which will produce the sex cells, okay, or the gametes. That means in the case of males, you can go for the testicles, right? In the case of the females, you can go for the ovary. Okay, gonads means testicles or ovary. Okay, so remember that. Okay, last 15 seconds. I'm not at all giving a single extra second for this question because this question is like way too easy. Who knows? Probably this question may be asked in chapter test. So don't forget it. Don't leave it like it's easy. Okay. I'm ending the poll then, and I'm sharing the results. 17% is an option A, 4% B, 13% C, and 65% D. I don't know, like some of you confused. Probably you got confused with the gonads, meaning of the gonads. Remember, gonads means the reproductive organs. That means testicles in male, right? Testicles in male and ovary in female. I think everyone know the meaning of this one, right? Really, sometimes that happens without knowing. Okay, the correct answer is nervous and muscular tissue. No need to discuss this, right? So we will come to the point where we are discussing up to this, right? So the point is the cell division. Okay, what is the cell division then? Okay, cell division is a process by which new cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Okay, new cells will arise from where? New cells will arise from the pre-existing cells. Okay, you can divide the cell division into two major processes. Okay, you can divide the cell division into two major processes. What are those then? Those processes are karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Okay, probably you guys also know about the karyokinesis and cytokinesis, right? You already know about the karyokinesis and cytokinesis, I think. One second, this chart is something with that, exactly. Yeah, so we already discussed about things. Simple. Karyo means what? Karyo means nucleus, right? Karyo means nucleus. Kinesis means a kind of division. Exactly, that's what we call nuclear division. It's right there only, right? The division of the nucleus. Cyto means cytoplasm. Exactly. Karyo means cytogamy. Right. And cytokinesis means division of the cytoplasm. So what you are seeing here is the actual image of cells which are going through a process of division. Okay. So how we got this particular picture? So we'll have certain kinds of dye. So those called as fluorescent dyes. Okay, fluorescent means for a particular wavelength of light, they will also emit a particular wavelength of light. Okay, we have different kinds of fluorescent dyes: fluorescent red, fluorescent green, fluorescent yellow. Okay, and those are specific to a particular kind of a biomolecule. Okay, we will use that particular nature, and we will color a different organ in different. Okay, we will color chromosomes in an orange color, as you can see here, and we colored the cytoskeleton in green. Okay, so what happened? We can see the live cell division process. Okay, we can make a video and we can observe by speeding up. Okay, it's a speed up reaction. Okay. We can see the Astral chip. Okay, we can't see directly. We have to use the dyes. Okay, fluorescent dyes to visualize all those things. Okay, so chromosomes are arranging, chromosomes are dividing, everything is happening. We will see that tomorrow also. Okay, like in the mitosis. So just a image. Okay. So we will move on to the next. When you go for these types of the cell division, we will normally make into three different types. One is the mitosis, second one is the meiosis, and third one is the binary fission. So what is the difference between these then? We already covered basic things about this in the last chapters, right? When we are discussing about the second chapter. Sir, will it? No, like it won't happen in such a short time. It's a long time. It's a speed up image. Okay, it's a speed up chip. Yeah. So I think I already explained these things when we are studying about the second chapter, but I'm going through once again. I think you know the basics, right? So the first is the types of cell division, where it will occur. Binary fission. Okay, this binary fission we also call it as the amitosis. That means simple kind of division. Remember, I am going through complete explanation later. It's just a brief about the things. Okay. So where binary fission or amitosis happen, it happens in the prokaryotes. Okay, that means I don't want to explain what's the meaning of prokaryotes, and also sometimes in eukaryotic cells. Okay, and what's the function? Majorly asexual reproduction, and sometimes it also help in the repair. Okay. So sometime in repair, but majorly in the asexual reproduction. In eukaryotes, it helps in the repair, and prokaryotes is to go for the asexual reproduction. But remember, majorly binary fission, which refers to the prokaryotes and asexual reproduction. Most of the people normally don't go for eukaryotes, okay, because it's very few only you can find, very few kinds of plants and very few kinds of the process, okay. And second one is a mitosis. Mitosis are division of cells, a single cell into two equal cells. Okay, so you can find it in the eukaryotes because it needs spindle, which is not present in prokaryotes. So you can't find the mitosis in eukaryotes. Okay, sorry, mitosis in prokaryotes. What's the function? Function is asexual reproduction, growth of individual, and repair mechanism. Okay, you can find it in yeast or in us everywhere. Okay. Third one is a meiosis. What happens here? Single cell will give rise to 4 haploid cells, right? 4 haploid cells. So it's also found in eukaryotes only. It's also not found in the prokaryotes because there is no spindle fiber. The major thing is sexual reproduction. Okay, major thing is the sexual reproduction. Okay, so it may be sometimes spore production also may be there. Okay, spore production. We will learn that already learned that in the plant kingdom, I think. So most of you guys remember. When we went for the meiosis, I will explain one more time. Okay, no need of confusion. Okay, so before we're going to start about these 3 things, we will learn some terminology. Okay, I think some of you know that, but still it's better if I mention it one more time. That's the good thing, right? Then we can save the time later on. So first terminology we are discussing is the chromatin, okay, meaning of the chromatin, and second is the meaning of the chromosome. I think you already know the structure of nucleotide. What happened when a nucleotide joined to another, then it will become the polynucleotide. This will give rise to a DNA. Okay, here we will confine to the DNA only. We will not going for the RNA. Remember, this DNA is like double helix and twisting, but it needs certain things to twist around itself, right? You can't like make a twist in a rope, but if you have something, if you have a rod, you can twist that rope into several other folds, right? So exactly in the same manner, this DNA will rope around a kind of protein. We call it as the histone protein. Okay, so this is the protein. As you can see, this is the proteins, and this particular part is the DNA. Okay, DNA is twisting around the protein. This is also histone protein only. Okay, no need to attention about these models and everything. This is called nucleosome model. We will learn that in the 12th class. No need to take tension at all. Okay, just remember, DNA will twist around the histone protein. That much is important in the eukaryote. Okay, in the eukaryote. Then what happens? This again twist around, twist. Okay, it will go for more condensation, more twisting. Okay, and it will form a chromosome. Right? I already explained how it will happen. Right? Remember, okay, when you heard about a gene, don't tension. Gene means a part of the DNA. Okay, Probably this may be a gene or this may be a gene. Gene is not a part. Gene is not a structure which you can see. Okay, gene is how can I say? Just a term we given. Okay, gene is just a term we given. Okay, like I will take a simple example uh, think about your class. Okay, think about your class. You will be like 40 people will be there, right? 40 people will be there. Probably in that 5 people are the sports who are into these sports. Okay, or we can call it as like athletes. Okay, we can call it as the athlete. When I watch over you guys, okay, when I watch over you 40 people, I don't know who are athletes or who are not, right? So everyone look alike because everyone part of that only. But when I leave you guys in the ground, then based on your performance, I can decide who are you, who are those people, right? Who are those people are actually athletes? Exactly like this. Everything is same only, but based on function, we gave the statement gene or not a gene. Okay, I told you, right? Gene is the part of DNA which is functional, right? Don't ever think about it. Don't ever think about code or anything. Okay, code means the ATGC, what we learned in the last class, right? The adenine, guanosine, those it's only called as code. That will come in the 12th class. If I explain now, it will become a spoonful, more than spoon for you guys. Okay, that's why I'm not going for that much depth. Okay, so just remember about these things. DNA is there. DNA is twisting around the histone. That histone is again twisting and it's forming a structure that's called a chromosome. Okay, so what's the meaning of chromatin? Mass of genetic material composed of DNA and protein that condense to form a chromosome during the eukaryotic cell division. That means the structure what you can see here, the twisted structure, not a chromosome, not the complete condensed, just a rope-like structure it formed in a starting, right? This is, you can call it as the chromatin. Mean and random gene. No, dude. Like gene means a part of the DNA. Okay. Random gene means random part of the DNA. Okay. You don't know that, right? Gene means a part of a functional part of the DNA. I'm giving the definition only. Okay. The meaning or the definition of the gene is functional part of the DNA. Okay. We don't know how much length or whatever it is until we know the practical things or practical applications. Okay, you can't study it by theoretically. You have to know for the practical application only. Okay, I'm coming back once again. Sorry. So DNA, a part of DNA with a histone protein or DNA with a protein. We are not mentioning histone because histone will be present in eukaryotes only, but in prokaryotes histone will not be there. Some other proteins will be there. Okay. So not a complete condensed form, just a rope-like structure formed from the condensation of histone with a protein. We call it as the chromatin. Okay. What is chromosome? A double rod condensed chromatin, a complete condensed chromatin. Okay, which contain the DNA, which carry the genetic information. You can call it as the chromosome. As you can see here, right? This is the chromosome. Okay, this is the chromosome. If I write something like this, then it will be the chromatid. Understood? The chromosome is the complete condensed form of the chromatin. Okay, the chromosome is the complete condensed form of the chromatin. Okay, double rod, you can see here, right? This is one rod, this is another rod. Simple. One rod, another one rod. So rod-like structure. Rod, I think you know the meaning of the rod, right? Rod means what? Like, how can I explain the meaning of rod? Yeah. So rod, double rod means two rods, right? It looks like two rods, one together, right? So that's the differentiation between chromatin and chromosome. We will move on to the next one. So there are some other terms like sister chromatids, so homologous chromosomes. Okay, what's the meaning of that? When you write rod-like structure, I think who are in the last class, probably you know the things, right? I told you regularly the chromosomes will be something like this. Okay, before cell division or before it enter to the cell division, before entering cell division. So division, when it's going for cell division, what will happen? It will divide in this manner, right? It will divide into this manner. How this will become this? this one part, this particular one part, which is replicating or dividing and giving rise to the second part. And I told you, right, when it happens like this, what's the meaning of that? This particular one exactly similar to this particular one, because this one is coming from this one only, right? Because those are like dividing, right? So that is why we call these two things as the sister chromatids. As you can see here, we call it as the sister chromatids because those are alike, right? Those are alike. Both of them are alike. How I can say? I can say qualitatively and quantitatively same. Quantitatively. Then you may ask, sir, what's the meaning of qualitatively and quantitatively same? Okay, simple. What's the meaning of quality? Quality means the product of the gene. Okay, that means a color of the hair or color of the eyes or skin color. Okay, it's coded for the genes, right? So there's a quality. Then what about the quantity then? The quantity means number of nucleotides in that. Okay, number of nucleotides in that. Because it's alike, exactly same, the quantity, that means number of nucleotides in this particular region and this particular region is same. And the character which is signified, like something, just think that here is a gene which is code for the black hair. Okay, then exactly in the same position, the same gene will be there because both are replicated one. Okay, both are replicated one. Like whatever happening in this side, exactly same thing in this side. Okay, why we call it as P arm, Q arm? You know that because a smaller arm we call it as P arm and a longer arm we call it as the Q arm, right? So this is about a single chromosome then. Okay, but remember, exactly, Monisha. But remember, when you are like zygote formation has happened, then your cell don't only have your own cells, right? Your own chromosomes, it also have the chromosomes from the father, right? So half of the chromosomes, like in your 46 chromosomes, 23 is from father, we call it as the paternal chromosomes, and 23 are called maternal chromosomes, right? Maternal chromosomes. These are called, when you join these things, we call it as the homologous chromosomes. Okay, 23 will be something here and 23 will be something here. Okay, why we call it as the homologous then? Homologous chromosome are the set of maternal and one paternal chromosome that pair up with each other inside cell during fertilization. Okay, yes, exactly. But remember, this homologous chromosome, what I am mentioning here, right? These homologous chromosomes are exactly one chromosome from father, one chromosome from mother is called homologous chromosome. These homologous chromosomes are quantitatively same, but not qualitatively. Qualitatively may be different. So what I'm telling then, okay, what I'm telling is quantitatively same means if you take the first pair of chromosome, okay, in your body, first pair of chromosome in your body, in that pair, one is from father and another one from the mother, right? Both of them having the similar size. That means both of them are metacentric only. Okay, both of them have the same size only. Okay, both are same, but they are not in the quality. That means a father may be having a character. I told you right here, black hair is representing. Probably in the same position in the mother, it may have the white hair. White hair. So children's may exactly same as no. Children's do not exactly like father. I will come back to that. Okay, like let me finish these things. So remember, the qualitatively it may not be same. That means qualitatively different. That means the genes or the characters may be different in the father chromosome and different in a mother's chromosome. Okay, maybe father's chromosome is having black hair color coding genes and mother's chromosome may have the white hair color coding genes, but the shape of them and the size of them, everything is same. That's why the homologous chromosomes are quantitatively same, but not qualitatively, not in the characters we say. Okay. That's why when you are born, you will have 23 from the father and 23 from the mother. That's why you are not always represent any one of your parent. Okay, it's never possible. You are never represent exactly like a single parent. You always a character, mixed character. You are always having a mixed character, right? Pawan, that's later. You are correct, but we will see that later. Okay, I'm not mentioning for everyone because some people may get confused. Okay, what you are saying is correct. Yes. So that's why you are always a mixed of character, not same as any single parent. Remember about it. You have both the chromosome from the father and mother. Okay. Dominant, recessive, everything will be there. Okay, yes, who said it's not? Okay, think that black hair is dominant. Then what happens? Black hair will be represented in your phenotype. That means your external color. That does not mean right this particular chromosome is deleted, right? The chromosome is still there, but representation is happening of the one character. That's called dominance, recessiveness. So that we study later. Don't take tension about that. Okay. I'm representing the character within the chromosome. I'm not mentioning what character will be visible in your body, right? Even though a particular, you just say, take guys, okay, if you take a character, all your body characters, and when you compare, not all of them will represent your father, and not all of them will represent your mother, because some of the character may be coming from the grandfather, maybe from the grandfather or grandmother. Okay, like it's flowing from there to there. When it will, you will learn everything. Okay, not every gene will activate in every generation. Okay, like it's too complex. So we will study in 12th. That's why we just understand about these basics. We can say 50-50%. That's also not sure. That's what I told. Chirant, we come. I will explain that 1 second. Okay. While zygote formation is different, I didn't understand different means. Half chromosomes will be not half chromosomes. Remember, whenever the zygote formation is happening, 23 chromosome from the father is joining with the 23 chromosome from the mother. That's it. Okay. We will see everything else in the next slides. Okay. While how everything will happen. Just remember about the meaning of homologous pair, the meaning of the non-sister chromatid. Sister chromatid and non-sister. Okay. Why we call these and these are non-sister then? Because these things are not having the same origin, right? Don't have common origin. Don't have common origin. Because one is from the father and another one from the mother, even though they look in a size they look same, but they are not same. That's why we call it as the non-sisters. Okay, we call it as the non-sister. But in between these two, we call sister. In between these two, we call sister. Okay. Next one, chromatid. Okay, what's the meaning of chromatid? If you take one of the half of this particular chromosome, something like this, then you call it as the chromatid. Why only sister for bio terms, not brother? Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know why only they will use the term sister. Why not brother? So, okay, I'm not sure about that, because majorly because probably it's giving from there, but I'm not sure about it. Okay, so I have to go for history. I do check that why it's there. When you both join, you call it as diploid. We discussed all those things in last classes only. Okay. Remember, this is a chromatid, a single chain. I told you, right? You should not cut something like this. You should always cut like this, right? You can call this as a chromatid. This is another chromatid. This is one chromatid and this is another chromatid. Okay. So as you can see here, this is two are there, right? Sister chromatids are two are there. Because this two, sometimes we call it as the dyad. Okay, that means two chromatids are there. Dyad, di means two, right? So dyad. Okay, we call it as the dyad. Pawan, what you are saying? Then other 23 from father won't come. Remember, if 23 from the father won't come, then fertilization won't happen, right? That means zygote not at all formed. There should be 23 from the father and 23 from the mother. Exceptional case, we will leave it. Okay, we are not at all going for the exceptional case. No, like this is one of the easy chapter, Appu. This is one of the easy chapter. Don't take tension. Okay, I'm going through this once again, guys. Concentrate. Okay. So when cells are dividing, before dividing, this chromosome will split. Okay, and that particular we normally mention it as the chromosome. Okay. Now, guys, just concentrate about the things what I'm saying. Okay, I will explain about all the extra things in the next slides. Don't go for the other things. Just concentrate about the things what I'm telling. Okay, not at all anything else. Not at all. Okay, because when I'm mix everything, then you will also get confused, and most of you guys don't at all understand it, right? So think about the things I'm telling. Next, we will discuss about all the other things. Okay. So, when a cell is going for the division, Chirant, like I'm telling, okay, 1 second, okay. Just for 1 second, like for 5 minutes, don't put any message. Don't put any message. Okay, I will explain it one time, then you can ask. Okay, so let me explain first things. So when chromosome is before dividing, it looks almost like this. But when it's going for division state, it looks something like this. What happened here? DNA get replicated. Okay. From where it is getting replicated, this particular chromatid only, a single set, we normally call it as a chromatid, which give rise to another set. Okay. So that is what represented in here, right? So because this one chromatid only giving this particular one, that's why these two chromatids are alike. That means both of them are same. But still they are connected in between in a part we call it as the centromere, or we call it as the primary construction. Okay. So because these two things are similar and these are connected, we normally refer this particular shape as the chromosome. Okay, chromosome. These two chromatids, as you can see in a single chromosome, are alike. That's why we call it as the sister chromatid. Why we call it as the sister chromatids? Because these have the single origin and these are alike. Okay, because these have a single origin and these are alike. Okay, but if you take as organism, diploid organism have a chromosome coming from the father and another one chromosome coming from the mother. Okay, this chromosome coming from the father and mother, the set will look alike quantitatively. That means when you compare the size. Okay, but when you compare its quality, that means genes which is present in them, that may be different. Okay, we are not talking about the expression in those genes. That means expression means how the phenotype will look. That means how it will be visible in the outside. We are discussing only about the chromosome. That means one may code for some character, the same chromosome from the other, like a maternal side, may code for this some other variation of the character. Okay, because these two don't have the common origin, we call it as the non-sister chromatid, because these are not alike, these are different. Okay, but when you compare the chromosome, both the chromosomes, these chromosomes will be having similar size. Similar size means homo, similar means homo, right? That's why we call it as the homologous pair. This homologous pair is similar in quantity but not in the quality. Okay, when you take a single chromosome, the single chromosome have these two chromatids, right? That's why with mentioning to the chromatid, we may call it as the dyad. Okay, dyad, if I refer a chromosome as a dyad, then you should write the chromosome in this particular manner. Okay, if I didn't mention, or like something will happen, also you can think about chromosome in the same manner only. Okay, dyad simply representing a chromatid number. Okay, you will learn that in the mitosis when we are discussing about the mitosis. Okay, and these homologous pairs are normally present in the body chromosomes, as normally we call it as the like somatic chromosomes. Okay, what your regular chromosomes are. But your sex chromosomes, that means X and Y, will be non-homologous. That means one will be different and another will be the different. Okay, we already seen the photo of the X and Y chromosome in the last but one chapter, right? So I think you already remembered about those things. If any one set of chromosomes from the father and mother won't come, then fertilization won't occur, and then cells won't appear. Okay, we are leaving the exceptions because we will study about the exceptions after we know about the basics. Okay, so leave the exceptions, but remember, for the sexual reproduction, we need two set of chromosomes, one from the father and from the mother. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, dyad are the replicated chromatid. Exactly, dyad only represent the number of chromatids. Now you can ask your questions. If you have any doubt, you can ask now. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask now in the chat box. If you don't have any doubt, if you think we can move on, then click on the yes. Okay, click on yes, so I can understand. We can. If you have any doubt, so you can ask now. So like this is what happens. I will complete certain things, then we will go for the option doubts. Okay. Otherwise, what happens? I will be explaining something, then you will ask something. That will happen. So what is the non-sister? Remember, if you take homologous chromosome from the father, paternal source and maternal source, then what is happening here? Okay. This chromatid, if I take and I will compare with this particular chromatid, you can compare the size is same, right? The size is same only, but the characters are not same, and this don't have the same origin also, because this have the origin of the father and this have the origin of the mother, right? That's why we call it as the non-sister. That means non-related. Think about your sister and someone else. You and your sister will have some common characters, right? If we see you, like we can say your face shape or your hair, something similar is there, right? Similarities will be there. Or if you take a twin sister, right? A twin sister, both of them will be alike. You can say that. But if I compare you with some other random girl from anywhere, then you can say that, right? You both of them are not sisters because you both have the different origins, right? That's what we call. There is any chance of more than dyad? No, more than dyad chances not there. Okay, more than dyad chances not there. How kinetochore and centromere are attached with chromatids to form the centrosome? No, it is not centrosome. Remember, centromere simply refers to the constriction. Actually, we discussed in the last chapter, right? Centromere simply represent the constriction. Constriction means what? Constriction means this kind of thing is there. Okay, this is called a constriction. This is called a constriction. Okay, there is no extra structure called centromere. Okay, so we simply gave a name to it. That's it. Okay, kinetochore is a protein which is attached on that. If you need more details, just go for the last chapters. Okay, because we explained it like there for like so much time, right? So explained what is centromere, kinetochore, and everything. Centromere simply refers to the constriction. Kinetochore represent a protein which is present on that constriction. Okay, that much. So we come to a question. One pair of homologous chromosome contain. Okay, they are asking one pair of homologous chromosome contain how many chromatids? 2 chromatids, 4 chromatids, 1 chromatid, none of the above. This is the time of the truth. That means how much you understood what I explained. Okay. And just like, you know the question, you know the option, you have the option, so you have the only thing left is you have to answer, nothing else. And I'm telling everyone once again, okay, the pre-reading is required. Okay, if you don't read, you directly come to the class and you want everything should be provided, that's not at all possible, right? Like after this class, I will never explain what's the meaning of chromosome, chromatin, chromatid, and sister chromatid, homologous chromosome, right? Because We spent the same time in the second chapter, and same thing I explained one more time in this cell chapter. Same thing I'm explaining one more time in here. You guys are not at all reading and coming, and you are asking the same kind of the question, right? Just like it kills our time, guys. Like I don't know why you guys are not at all understanding. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, I'm ending the poll then. So 47% chosen option A, that's like awesome, and 43% chosen option B, 9% C, and 1% D. And in YouTube, everyone chosen option B. Okay. So I think everyone up here can understand simple meaning of the question, right? What is the meaning of one pair? Does it have any significance or not? It's like literally a child can understand the meaning of pair, right? Child can understand meaning of pair. We told you the chromosome means something like this. If you understand the structure chromosome like this, then what's the difficulty of getting the meaning of pair, right? Like it's like how can I don't know how to put. Okay, I don't know how to put. And probably I have to explain the meaning of pair also, right? So this is what we call it as a pair. Remember, guys, if I write something like that, we call it as the single. If you write something like this, then we call it as the pair. Okay, remember these things. So this is very important. Okay, then we will go on to the next one. So this is like LKG level. Okay, this is like LKG level of teaching. So next one is they're asking. Okay, so what it contains? 2 chromatids, 4 chromatids, 1 chromatid, none of the chromatids. What is the meaning of chromatid then? This is called as the one chromatid. Then what we have to do? We have to go for the arithmetic things, right? So here is 1, we will write 1. 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 So we will calculate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means what? This will represent the 4 chromatid, right? So what it contains then? So what this question will represent? This question will represent only the understanding the meaning and about simple calculation. I can't say it's a calculation. Okay, if I call it a calculation, it will become like stupid, right? Who will call it a calculation? You are doing like integration, differentiation, binomial theorems, and you don't know how to calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So and you don't know the meaning of pair. So which is the correct answer? The correct answer is option B. Obviously, we need like 10 seconds to answer this question, and you went for the 2 chromatids. I don't know like what to tell, right? That's the thing. So once again, we lagged by the 3 slides. Okay, I thought we will complete it in a 6. We will complete this particular in 6 o'clock. We took more than that. No issue on that. Okay, but remember, guys, I'm telling you, it's like a serious thing. Okay, if you don't do the pre-reading, if you don't want to do reading, okay, then this is not like, it's not going to work. Okay, science won't going to work. Okay, science is not like something you heard a story and write it down. Okay, when you give something, then only you get something. Science is directly like that. Science is merciless. I'm telling you. Okay, science is merciless. It will never think like, okay, this boy is beautiful or this girl is beautiful and she's handwriting is very good, that's why I will give like passer. Like it never going to happen. Remember, okay, it's never going to happen literally. Okay, if you don't work on, if you don't have the meaning in your words, so then it's never ever going to work. Okay, I've seen. Okay, if they ask about arm, then it's correct. I only. Okay, I've seen the people whose handwriting is worst. Okay, example, take mine only. Okay, my handwriting is worst. Okay, still I always get good marks. Okay, I always get good marks. Okay, I've seen people whose handwriting is too good. Okay, like unimaginable. Still they don't get any marks. Their answer sheets are filled. Okay, like they will take a lot of additional. What the hell is happened there then? Science never care about those things. Science care about the facts. Okay, like if it's a class, probably like it will be different level. Okay, I can't say anything. Just remember, you have to go for pre-reading. Okay, go for pre-reading. read the things, okay, remember the things, analyze the things, okay, then everything will go on in a proper, okay. So everything else is like secondary one, okay. So everything else is secondary only. I'm stop sharing and nothing is, sorry, okay. So that is came to that. Like you have the NPS, and if you have any more doubt regarding this class, so what we are doing is like we are leaving it here only, okay. You guys read it out, okay, before tomorrow's first class. So, before next class we are starting, I will have 5 minutes only for the discussion about what we studied about today, okay. We are not going any more things here. We will go for the 5 minutes in the next class, initial 5 minutes. There we will go for all the doubts and everything, okay. Why I'm not going for the doubt here? Because what we studied is like very basics. If you did a little pre-reading, then you know the answers. That's why, okay, go read it out, okay, then we can discuss. One pair means what? One homologous chromosome is chromosome. One pair means one pair, right? Pair means two, right? Really? Okay. Sorry, the people who are like, if you get offended, I can't do anything. Okay, like for everyone, you have to read out. Okay, I can't do anything. Okay, guys, in YouTube, like I will do that thing also. Okay, so in next class, first, like next class is 3 o'clock. 3 to 3:05 is about the doubt discussion. Later, we will go for everything else. Okay, read it out, then come. Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, then we'll meet in the next class.